All right, so some people don't really remember everything that they've told people to make them understand things, but when something comes to mind again, I know I need to document. And I figure it's necessary for you to understand as well how to know when God is talking. For me, it's the punctuation. Because if there's a question mark, I'm just wondering. But if there's a period at the end of this sentence, that's exactly what needs to be done. And I know the same punctuation when I'm listening to directions. I have this friend, Rick, who is literally like probably closer than most think to 7 feet tall. He goes to my church, St. John's downtown, and he is a marketing mastermind. He's also a damn good chef, and he's got this catering company. But before the catering company was anything I knew about, he had a whole bunch of other businesses and blah, blah, blah. I think he's dope, and I have a lot of respect for him. I sent him 3 videos. One video of me inside of an apartment doing a freestyle, literally just talking to somebody about what the experience is like when I'm just doing this so simply, freely, being myself, right? The other video, I believe, was a performance. I don't remember at the moment, but the point, the last video was a 22-minute video of me in the car, really going in. And I asked him, like, for feedback, and he prefers to give it to me in my face. But what he did mention is that I need to, be in the car and then end with a video of a sunset. And here I am driving to another friend's house who pours so much into me, and I see this. So beautiful. That was the sentence. And so, if you're not surrounded by people who you can trust, then pay attention to the punctuation. Because even the protagonist in your life can give you a hard sentence. And even the antagonist in your life can give you a statement that doesn't make sense until it's over. But sometimes it's literally the thoughts in your mind that you can let subside to the point that you are no longer confined to what you thought was the point, because that distraction was just for me to know when to breathe. We don't pay attention to ourselves enough to really just grasp the concept, but what's so exciting to me is knowing I'm surrounded by the right kind of people. Like, for real. And I want them to win too. Yo, Taj, there's this man that just went live, is on my live. He can sing his ass off. His voice, the very first note, puts this lump in my throat. I feel like there's no way to let go unless I allow myself to be just as free and breathe. I'm doing this experiment. This is my 2nd week. Last week I did it with 3 friends. This week I'm inviting anyone who wants to do this for free. And literally this is what it is. You tell me I'm ready to be married, MERRIED. And you send me your email, and I'll send you 5. You don't have to do them in order, but within 7 days, get them done. And I swear, if you do them every day and some more than once, you'll see this incredible return on your investment. And no, I'm not charging you $1. That was not a slug. That sounded like a slug. It was not. But listen, I'm not charging you $1 for the experience, but I know it's gonna cost you some time to experience it, right? And in the meantime, while I'm giving you the tools to get you back to a space where you can actually listen and figure it out, I got some really great resources. So I have absolutely no doubt whatever it is you're going through, you can get through it. And with all these tools, I know, because God told me months ago to bridge the gap between God, art, and psychiatry. Well, Dr. Alana Curry right now has a $1 flash sale on her trauma relief class. Go, get it. I did. Dr. Keith Clark is a therapist that is literally financially affordable for anyone in the community who needs someone to talk to, and you want someone who is well-versed and experienced. There are nonprofit organizations like the Truth Project that literally tell real, unapologetic truth through healing and help people become themselves. And then you got the Bread of Life. So the Bread of Life is an organization from my church, St. John's downtown, and they serve thousands of pounds of food every week. They literally are the reason people can eat. Like, I love my church. I love my pastors. I love everybody who knows somebody at that place. And I know I love you too. And anytime I am arrested in my spirit to give you something, I got to. And for those I have reached out to, like Doobie, who still hasn't called me, I got something for you. But there is a beauty in knowing that it doesn't matter when you come. The invitation does not expire. But learn to listen, because I can't mention enough how many times I've tried to reach you, but you don't seem to let me through because you are so quick to assume, just like the others do. I would too. But no one's trying to make you feel weak for being vulnerable or foolish for being transparent. I just want you to feel in the process, like literally bubble it in. Don't feel so empty when you've done giving yourself again, because you were supposed to do it to yourself. Stewart has always told us not to let our hearts melt before we administer aid to self. So as turbulence hits your life and you know that this strife is too much for hype, but we don't know what it's like to get past this moment sober, we got to be strong enough to be hold over to the sense that we realize that being on hold gives us patience, but sometimes the patience don't make us feel like we've been held, and we find ourselves needing to be disheveled. There is a beauty in knowing that love cannot be erased, but see, some of us don't understand what that feels like because we're still chasing something that we can't see or imagine. That's the sense of mirror time. So one of my assignments on Marius Tiffany's 7-day tour with me is mirror time, and I promise you, the instance you realize my old videos used to be me doing this, too ashamed of how I looked and felt about myself to expose myself to you. And now I give myself the praise because I know I'm doing a good job, and I know the effects of putting God first and keeping it that way. And then I go second on my list of things to do because I can't be nothing to you if I'm not here. My mental capacity is stacking shelves. Like, it's insane how I'm able to dig and delve of myself, find a way to heal myself, at the same time heal so many others, because I'm not waiting until I'm done to show you that it's possible. Like, it's literally happening. And D, I love you. That's bae. That's Marissa's bae, but she my bae too. She my bae now because I got like no bae by myself. But anyways, slug. But it's just really beautiful. Like, yesterday I went to one of my best friend's house, and her childhood best friend was there. And it was just, I gotta start driving because I didn't run out of gas talking to y'all. But her childhood best friend was there, and he was complaining about this pain in his leg. I mean, like, he could barely move it. Complaining about it, just hurt. And it was so empowering because Tracy, oh, you're tagging him? It was so empowering because, like, immediately I took the oil that I had given my friend, my best friend, and I put it on his knee and I'm rubbing it in, and he's like, what is she doing to me? And not even an hour later, he was so overwhelmed because he didn't feel any pain. Like, it works. And for anybody who is literally on that trip of prove it, baby, give me 7 days, I will. If he could create all of this in 7, I'm pretty sure I can create a space in your mind to open up to the possibility that you've been taught lies. Remember, if I had 3 minutes where the whole world would listen, I would teach them about my religion, how with it all things are possible. I would snicker at the clever use of a synonym to avoid a colossal insult. Yo, I have never found a difference in our walks. I refuse to support the opinions of minions who have conjured empires sustained by greed, trying to fit in the glimpse of naive imaginations. All you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. No amount of doubt would intervene. Yo, I worry your perceptions have been deceived by more or less moralist tales to point you would fail to prevail. Is it not the same? See, obstacles will only appear mountainous when you stand before them. I'm not getting over the line, Chicago. I just crossed it. They are minuscule molehills when you overcome them. Patience is a virtue you must seek daily. In addition, it is your mission to attain it. For those who didn't catch that, I'll explain it. Everybody's always seeming like they got to look for someone else to have done what they might need to, not realizing they have all within to get it. You know, it makes no sense how people are like living through the eyes of someone else, vicariously thinking that they can go through the same exact thing and feel the same emotions. There's nothing like doing it for yourself. This independence is not something to be addicted to, but it is something to experience. Like being able to say I can is so powerful, and to the point that aluminum's compost was just like Ebony Rose said, it makes you feel like you really can do shit. And isn't it nice how we can still find that there's a beauty in the sense of creativity, because long live the arts. It's always gonna be in me, and I figure ain't nobody gonna envy the ability to love past pain, because I told you love is the religion I practice. I laughed at the fools who act like the rules weren't meant to control them, as though high men weren't broken. They've been as sodomized by true lies as rape victims, unwillingly sacrificed to points their faith was compromised. I'm sick and tired of having a compromise what I believe in. I know you think I'm afraid, as though my past is me cautious and weary of what to say. Like I'm unaware that my path has already been paved. I know you think it is my inability to admit it, but honestly, what bothers me, I ain't crossing the line. What bothers me is the fact that you gotta go through shit to understand the insufficiency. See, I could never tell you to avoid it. I would never attempt to cause you pain to the point you could not notice, because even when time didn't seem sufficient, I have always needed love to be present. It's not that I'm against relationships. I'm simply against false claims of love's presence and people's bullshit. If you ever tell me you're in love, I'll only hope you stay there. Because if you leave, if you dare lose focus, you will forever live in a realm of hopeless romantics searching for passion. And that, my baby, is what's so tragic, not love or admitting such. But the moment you realize it isn't enough, see, counted steps preceded by hesitation led to mental constipation, forcing the realization of disappointment as my expectations weren't met. I grew impatient because you hadn't arrived yet. It was like being subjected to my future, initially exciting. It devastated me, having to watch the seconds slowly passing. In the meantime, eye contact with you led me on fast-forwarded adventures to hospital rooms, elementary schools, games, plays, and graduations. I just couldn't fathom how I'd make it to my destination. It wasn't that I was in denial of his gift to me. I simply failed to realize as I prayed for you, he was listening. I reckon doubt set in. I couldn't allow myself to depend on desires of my heart. It was too good to be true that just as quick as I asked, he sent me you as each step. 3 forward, 10 back, those to the side, those so far from my path. Each one had purpose, and they honestly have no regrets. I used to say being loved by me felt too good to go without. So in spite of your fear, lust, and doubt, I would love you inside and out. In every moment, every instant, a piece of my heart was torn apart. I realized that my world was still being uplifted because I still could take a deep breath and slowly exhale and prevail to a space to realize that somebody whose face I ain't seen since 2006 is on my life. And I realized that maybe the words that I wrote so many years ago could give you some kind of peace. I figured that this was with ease, that I allowed myself to breathe. Like, it's not that I'm excited. It's not that I'm hurt. It's just that I'm so excited that finally my work can come out my mouth without being paused, because I have been dropping my own bars, and even the ones that I have written, I started spitting this free verse because I didn't want to embarrass myself like other people did, always saying I'm sorry on the mic. I tell my truth. Kevin taught me how to be unapologetic and have no doubts, because there's nothing I can't get through, because I know how to fucking edit. And I know when there's a question mark that I can give a statement and empower myself to know what it is to get through it. But there's a beauty in knowing that there are so many people who don't know I exist, because there's been so many people who have tried to resist for me being able to give you my gift. And I'm not about to allow myself to believe that though I know the value of these things, it's supposed to be unreachable. I want you to be teachable. I need you to be coached. And I know you can't afford me on no mic for this hype, but I think if you give me 7 days of your time, I can get to the core of your pain and change your mind.